Okay, it's Diced Pineapples. Welcome back to my channel. It's all my nibs and the bloods. So I'm gonna show you the curry chicken now. It's still boiling. I added the potatoes in there already. They're not quite yet done, so I'm gonna let them cook down. You see that color? You see the color on the sauce? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's my curry chicken sauce. So I'm gonna let it cook down a little bit more. The smoke, I'm trying to show you. There's still a lot of liquid there, so it has to cook down a little bit more. But you see how the sauce, the color is so good. So afterwards, I'm gonna add the onions, which are here. Sorry, they're already diced on the top, and I'm gonna turn the heat off on the chicken. So next thing we're gonna make in this video is the rice. So let me take you over here. I have some rice here. Another thing about me is I don't measure. Like, I don't measure when I cook. I can't stand to measure. So I don't know. I'll try, but I really can't tell you how much I put. I just know. So, and then here I have some of the kale that I had from my lunch, the salad. And I also have the leftover salad mix that I cut up from my salad that I'm going to actually use inside my kale. So, a tip. Say if you have leftover lettuce or whatever, you don't want to throw it away, you can always cut it up and put it inside your spinach, your collard greens, your kale, your mustard greens, anything you have, you can always throw your lettuce in there. It's not going to do anything because lettuce just basically cooks down into water. So that's a tip for you guys. If you don't want to waste it, throw it in there. Okay? So I have rice here, and I use jasmine rice. I have, I only use jasmine rice. And I use the one from Haiti. That's the one I have. I washed it 3 times in hot water. Like, scrubbed it with my hands, put my hands together, scrubbed it 3 times, poured the water out, did it, 3 times. So that's what I have. And I have the rest of the kale. And I'm going to use this Ippies for the rice. So I'm going to take y'all over to my pan for the rice. I'm going to turn the eye on. Okay. I'm going to add olive oil to the pan first. Okay. And then next, I'm going to add the rest of the Ippies that I had. Like, add it in there. Trying to get all of it out. I know it's kind of messy. Gonna add that in there. And then next, because I want to fry it so the oil has flavor. Next one I'm gonna add is the seasoning and the mashed potato, like the rest of it. That's the garlic, peppers, onions, and the leek. Usually when I make my rice, I usually just take scallion and garlic and some onion, and I fry it in the oil first. And I'm going to leave the rest of that for like the kale. That's in there. So right now I'm just going to fry this up just the same way. And I'm not adding the other oil, the trusted oil, because I don't want my rice to be any other color. That's all I want it to be, like that. And at the same time, I'm going to add some jewel. That's cloves in English. So I'm going to put a few in there. Some people add it to the pepper. Like, they poke it into the hot pepper. But to me, the flavor is not the same. So I add, what did I add? Like 8 in there. Like 8 in there. And I'm going to fry it around. In my oil, I'm going to fry it and get it going. Okay? And then while that's frying, I'm also going to add in my thyme, just to flavor the oil already. the time. Once that's frying for a little bit, I'm gonna add in my beans so my beans can fry. Once I add my beans, then I'm going to add my coconut milk and let it boil down. My butter, some Goya with cumin, because I love that in my rice. That's the only Goya I use in my rice. And then I'm going to add the rice. No, sorry. Yeah, the rice afterwards. So I'm just letting this fry down a little bit. I'm going to check on my chicken while I'm over here. Let me, oh, the gravy's nice. Nice and thick. It's thickening up. Looking good, looking good. Okay? So, you see that color on it? That's the color. That hot peppers. Okay? So I'm gonna let that cook. I'm putting the top back on it. It's not ready yet for the onions yet. Not just yet. Still cooking down. Turn it for my rice. So we're just frying these up. I'm gonna add my beans to the pot. Some people wash their beans, some people don't. Like, I don't really care. I say, like, when I feel like it, I rinse them off in the strainer. And then other times, I just pour them in there, like today. So it depends on my mood and how I'm feeling. Blah, blah, blah. So those are the beans. And before I add the coconut milk, I just want them to fry in this little veg concoction here with the ippies and the vegetables I smashed in the pilau. So I'm going to turn this up so it can start frying a little bit more. At this time, you can add fresh onions if you want. We're just going to add a few, not too much, into the pot. You don't have to. Some people dice their onions. Me, I don't care. Onions is onions. Like, honestly, I really don't care. Not too many, just a little bit like that. It kind of looks like I'm making a chili or something, huh? But cook them in there. I just turned up the heat a little bit to get it going, to like boil up a little bit, so the beans could get a little bit of the oil and the seasoning. And then from there, I'll add the coconut milk. So I'm going to add the whole can of coconut milk and like half a can of the water, depending on how much rice. Because like I said, I don't measure my rice, so I have to make the liquid go above my rice. That's how I measure. So coconut milk first, and then the water. So see, it's bubbling up over here. You know, it's just getting hot. So just waiting for it to bubble up a little bit. And I'm trying to think what else I'm going to make. I don't have plantain, I don't think. So I can make fried sweet potato, fried yam, something like that on the side. Or I can just eat it like that. I usually make festival. I don't know if I have any more festival. Festival is like a Jamaican like fritter. It's made with cornmeal, sugar. It's like a sweet piece of dough bread. But I don't know if I'm going to make that. I don't feel like it tonight, really. I have a lot of other things to do. So, yeah. So, watching that boil up. Boil, boil, boil. Give it a stir. Stir. Once it starts boiling, I'm going to add the coconut milk. And if you want side note, like if you want your rice to be like a little yellow, a little orange, whatever, this is the time you can add tomato paste, or you can add sazon with culantro and achote. That's the orange one. Or you can add, there's another one that just is with there's another sazon, but it's yellow. You can add a packet of that in there, you know, to make your rice, if you want your rice and beans to be like yellow or whatever color you want. Today I just want it regular. I'm not going to add anything into it. So it's boiling up. I'm going to add my coconut milk now. And after I add my coconut milk, that's when I add my sauce, my adobo. And you have to get enough in there to flavor it. Okay? And then that's when I will add my butter as well. You can't make rice without butter. Okay? So I added that all in there. This is gonna boil up. And you have to be careful when you add coconut milk to something. It will boil over onto the stove. So you have to be careful and keep an eye on it. Sorry, I keep banging the spoon on the pot, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put the butter back in the fridge so it doesn't melt. Okay, so that's that, and I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Like I told you, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Ninja, sorry, my dog. A little bit of water to this, just to thin it out so it's not so thick with the coconut milk. I'm gonna bring this to a boil. Once it boils, I say for like 10 minutes, I'm gonna come back and add my rice. Okay, so stay tuned, guys. I know it's a lot of videos. I'm just starting out, so I'm just getting to the hang of this thing. So be patient with me. I'm going to come back for another video. Stay tuned.